All right, October 17th, live day trading scan, survey, submit. I'm really working on trading every setup I see. Man, I mean, I'm just in such a mental block. I'm doing this paper trading. I went back to paper trading so I could really figure out trading strategies. You know, because when you're live trading, you want to only trading with real money. You only want to take the trades that you feel will work, obviously. But just because you feel they are going to work doesn't mean they will. And sometimes it's hard to collect the data to really understand the trades. You know, I would take so many trades. Yeah, I think this trade will work. I'll take it. But I don't take enough of them to really understand the probabilities of that trade working out. So the whole idea behind the paper trading is to take every trade setup that I see. That way I can just get a bunch of these trades. You know, if it's a descending wedge or some kind of support and resistance line or whatever it is, just to take every single one of those trades. That way I can go through and have a whole bunch of those trades to run data on. And I'm just like in such a mental block because I'm always wanting to win at the trades instead of just collecting the data. So that's kind of what I'm struggling with lately, and I'm not getting enough trades to collect data on. But I got to be able to mark these trades. I got to be able to use technical analysis and just really, determine viable setups, even if the setup doesn't work. Eventually, even if the setup doesn't have an edge, at least if it's a repeatable pattern that I can see, because I want to have that consistency. All right, so 9:35, I have 11 stocks on my scanner. Let's go through and see if there looks like there might be any support and resistance areas. Wow, it's 2 million shares that came in right there. This is pretty interesting. Oh, that was a nice little descending wedge pattern right there. Something like that will typically continue to tank. Okay, so what's that? 340. I can't trade that though. It has like a 15-cent spread. What kind of things can I trade consistently? Okay, gotta get rid of some of these stocks that I know ended up on my scanner, but there's no way they're gonna trade. So let's get rid of this. If that makes a lower low, that's gonna be interesting on Cron. Over 1 million shares. How many shares is that one? Almost 1 million on that first opening candle. The idea is to be able to spot this, like to be able to do technical analysis just lightning fast and just look at the chart. And that's really what I'm working on. It's kind of like, I've used the analogy before driving. You know, when you come up to a stop sign, you don't have to look at it too hard. You know, hopefully you know exactly what a stop sign means. The same thing, I want to look at charts and just know exactly what it means without thinking about it too hard. which isn't always easy. Okay, so I like this. Where was the break? It broke away from this area right here. 19. I can put a 30-cent stop. So if I get in 16, we'll say 15 to 85. But this is really where the move came from. It came down from here and really jumped from there. So I'd want my stop below that, 73. So maybe if price got in. Okay, so I'm going to buy. If price comes back, 72. There. And I'm going to say 30. Okay, so what I've seen is price came down, it kind of struggled, and this is the part where it broke away from right here. So if it breaks that, I think that's going to be bad. But if it comes down into that point, I think that is going to be a good area to buy. May never even come down again that low, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's already kind of worked its way so high. So I may want to think of something else there. Just having an idea of what you want to do, I think, is the most important thing. Because even if that idea doesn't work, it's the concept of planning and working on a plan and then determining if that plan is viable and then moving to the next plan if it's not. Man, this looks really interesting. That came down 400,000 shares. So on this one, 12-cent stop. Man, look at that. That's going. Let's see what that is. 43. 33. I can actually take a 50-cent stop. Kind of came in here, came down, struggled. And this is really the breaking point from here. That was like the last time. So I think I'd want my stop above that, which would be a high of 80. But I want 50. I get in 30, 60 would be 90, 40. Okay, so let me do sell. If the price comes back up, I want my stop to be 90. That'd be a 40-cent stop. Okay. You know what I look for is, so that's the last time the bulls had anything, was in this area. They pushed up, and then that's where it just really started tanking from. So I don't want to take, yeah, and it's already moved pretty far, so I don't even know if it'll come back up to that. Now this is interesting. We had a struggle, and then that's the breaking point right there. 49, 35, 70. Came up, and then down, and then struggle. So the best place would be here. 82, 50 area. Price went up, came down, and then really from this point, then it really struggled and came back down. Okay, so I want a 40-cent stop. Which means I have to be able to get in at 20. Okay. I'm definitely getting a few orders in. Well, the spreads are just too high to get into that. I'm going to clear this off. Something tagged me in. Let's see what that was. All right, let's see what happened. Came in real light volume. 100 shares. Oh no, did I forget to set it? What did I want my stop to be? See, making mistakes, man. $88.20. I believe I wanted it to be 40, in which case I'm already stopped out. Set it right above that. Yeah, messed up on this one because I didn't set my shares. My shares are supposed to represent my stop, but I didn't set it correctly. Man, it really just blew through this whole area right here. Tagged me out. Yeah, kind of made a mistake there. I don't know. I didn't enter it correctly. Just not been doing good the last few days. Just not been getting any sleep. Totally exhausted all the time. That's interesting right in here, actually. VWAP trade. Broke from here. Tried to come up. Couldn't. 94. 15 would be 30. But it doesn't really have any strong trend. Did make a lower low, which I like. I could call that a VWAP trade. That's the thing too, is learning how to tag every single trade I make. 75. $77 to $07, so it might already come back down. What happened to the order? There it goes. All right, we'll see what happens. I'm going to clear this. Actually like this. So the height. 72, 50. I can only take a 20. So the only way I can sell this. So we came up to 60. No, 55, and I can get out at, no, it's too close. 57, 20, sell. That's a VWAP trade. Well, how would I label that? VWAP trade. It keeps telling me it's not. Oh man, it's so annoying. $0.20. So that level right in here, 25 to 40. I just feel like I'm really lacking focus today. Just really, really lacking focus. I feel like I'm guessing too much. Just tends to be a little bit frustrating. Yeah, Kron, I wanted to take that, but didn't have any shorts available. That one looked interesting, but the spread was too big. Let's get rid of this PS stock. It really seems like it's just one of those days, having a real hard time focusing. I know it's probably going to be like this for the next couple months, just the reality of having a newborn, not getting any sleep. I mean, it just kind of is what it is. Some of the things I've been noticing are definitely having the right ideas on trades. Like I knew that was going to go down. It did go down. I shouldn't say I knew. I had a suspicion. This trade I'm going to go ahead and cancel. That one we're still waiting to see what happens. Let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, I really got to start. Let's see here. Yeah, I know it's going to be a rough next couple of months, but I told myself I was going to start recording these just to really get into my mindset, reviewing them. But today, it doesn't look like there's going to be much else going on. Start going through these charts and understanding what I'm missing. So sometimes I'm just barely missing the entry, or I'm in and maybe I'm not setting my stop quite right. I mean, look at that. Look how I bought right at the top. I mean, that's crazy. I set my stop like right at the wrong spot. I do that a lot. But it's okay, at least it's consistent. So, being consistently wrong that's so I've noticed quite a bit that, where to go. I'll put in, and I literally, right when I get out is the exact wrong spot to get out. Right when I buy is exactly where I should be selling. I mean, this has happened quite a few times. But that's cool though. At least that's consistency. That means I'm seeing something, I'm doing something, it's consistent. So if I can just learn to make adjustments, then I think I'll be in a better place. Because man, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this where I buy or I sell, and literally my stop is within a couple cents because I want to have really tight stops. So at least there's consistency, and that's what I want right now is consistency, finding some kind of consistency, because once you do things consistently, you can figure out how to, it's like a golf swing or something. If you do it, if every time you go to swing the golf club, you grip it differently, your stance is different, everything is different, then it's hard to know how to fine tune it. But if you do everything exactly the same, and then maybe you just work on your grip a little bit, or maybe you work on just your stance or whatever it is. I mean, I'm not a golfer, I don't know. But if everything else is consistent and you just refine the one variable, then that can be improvement. If I can do trades like this and just refine to where I'm going to get in a little bit later, set my stop a little bit higher, if I could do that consistently, then I'm going to be, in the black. I'm going to be making money. So that's what I got to work on. But I don't think there's anything left really today. I've got this busting headache. The joys of having a newborn. Yeah, this is still interesting. We'll see if that taps me in. We'll see what happens. It's at a 40-cent stop on that, which would be 90. Which again may be the exact wrong place to have a stop. All right, we'll see what happens. All right. So CGC just tagged me in. So let me go ahead and 50. So I want to set my stop at 90. And I want to set my buy at 10. Just a straight up 2-to-1. Let's see how that works. Wait, something looks off here. 50-50. Oh, I'm doing a 40-cent stop, right? So that's 80. 49.70. Man, I can't even do math in my head. I'm so out of it today. Okay. So I'm selling around a previous break point. Man, lack of sleep is really. I worked in the music industry. I used to go for. God, there was times I'd go 3 days straight without sleeping. Not healthy. Don't recommend it. But geez, now I'm in my 40s. It's like it just has a whole different effect on me. I'll hold this trade. Man, see what happens. All right. So that went ahead. That tagged me out 2 trades today, 2 losers. I got to refocus. I got to really refocus. I got to make this exercise more worthwhile. I feel like I'm kind of meandering. So really got to work on these entries because what I find now that I'm really trying to document what I'm doing is the entries are just weak. I need to find so if I look, the goal is to look at a chart, know what your entry would be. And if you looked at that chart a week from now, if you looked at it 100 different times, you always know where the entry is going to be. There's no guessing. You always know where the stop's going to be. And that's what I'm trying to really create in my mind. So I'm not so whimsical about this stuff, but I can just look and go, hey, this is where my entry is. This is where my entry is. So I really need to figure out how I'm going to do that. All right, need to focus and regroup and come back tomorrow.